Hey Libra, we're going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what is going on for you guys, Libra. All right, Libra. Whoa. All right, you guys might be having a little bit of a battle between like logic and, is it a battle? I don't know, maybe. I think you're trying to figure out what route you want to take with like, it's almost like, do I want to be responsible here or do I don't know. Let's see what's going on, Libra. Tell you another thing. I think maybe there might even be something where some information maybe has come your way, or you're analyzing something and maybe analyzing something and then being like, all right, intuitively, how do I feel about this? Or what am I going to do about this? That kind of stuff. I also think maybe you guys are doing like something about like having like a really good poker face, that kind of stuff going on right now. Okay. I would say probably for a good reason, you know? So, all right, let's see what's going on here. It's almost like you're protecting a manifestation. All right. It's something like that. So, all right, let's see what's going on. What's this? The King of Wands. So, okay. All right. It's like you're motivated, you know? Or trying to get ahead of something, okay? So, all right, let's see what's going on. Okay, I feel like it definitely is motivation here, okay, that kind of stuff. All right, let's see, Libra. All right, so, okay, you guys have the Temperance card. This is showing up as what you're wanting here. So, I think you're wanting to take a situation and either make it better or turn it into something else, okay? That's really what I'm feeling like is, I feel like that's like your focus, you know? That's kind of what you're focusing on, okay? Or wanting to focus on. All right. I'm also understanding something about meeting in the middle with something. All right, so maybe there's something that you're like, okay, let's meet. I don't know if this is physically like, okay, I'll drive halfway, you drive halfway, and we're meeting in the middle, okay? That kind of thing. Or if this is like, we're negotiating and like, you got to meet me in the middle here. I don't know, that kind of thing. So, all right. You guys have the Two of Swords, and this is showing up as a possible issue here. Maybe there's something that you're like, I actually need more information before I can even like make like a concrete choice on whatever this is, okay? That kind of stuff. Interesting. I'm also understanding this as being like, is this even real or not? You know, like, whatever I'm kind of like doing here, is this real or is I don't know, something like that. It's almost like you're like, I don't really know how to think about this, or I don't know, like maybe it's even like, okay, now I have this information, like, what do I do with it? Okay. That kind of stuff. I also understand an energy of like privacy here. Okay. So that might even be part of whatever this is being like, I just want to keep this, you know, private or, you know, something like that. So, all right. But I feel like there's been some type of reveal as well, okay? And that might be the issue. It might be like, well, this was supposed to be kind of like, you know, like, don't look at this thing, or I don't want this to be like found out just yet, that kind of stuff. I wonder if it's like, well, somebody was able to kind of, you know, figure that out, or something was revealed in some sense, okay? That kind of stuff. So, all right, you guys have the Ace of Swords. This is showing up as your opportunity. I love that, okay? I feel like this is, well, yeah, there we go. We were talking about focusing and that kind of stuff. I feel like maybe that is something that is, you know, that's your opportunity, is to really be very focused on one thing, that kind of stuff, okay? I would also say, I think you probably have an opportunity here to have maybe a breakthrough in communication, or a breakthrough in like something that just like clicks. It just like makes sense, that kind of stuff. You know, when like you're trying to figure something out and sometimes it's like, okay, it's not making sense. And then it's just like, you kind of sleep on it or whatever it is. And it's like, okay, now it's like integrated. You know what I'm saying? It's like, now I understand, that kind of thing. So, all right. I also definitely understand something about communication, okay, that kind of stuff showing up as like, I think an issue, but it feels like the opportunity is to break through that. I almost feel like it's like taking one step backwards, you know, that kind of stuff. I feel like that is actually going to promote more, either like having like a clear head about something, or maybe even having some victory in something, you know, that kind of stuff, having some breakthrough, that type of situation. This is freaking interesting. So, all right, let's see what else is going on here. Libra. All right, I'm getting amazing grace well, in my head here. Like I was blind, but now I see. The Six of Swords just came out. So, all right. All right, let's see what's up. Ooh, this card wanted to do a little bit of a reversal there. Four Swords, okay. Maybe you're not wanting to slow down, but it's like, I know, but maybe that's like taking, again, like one step back. That's where like the information is, or it's like something was built on confusion. So it's like, wait, hold on. We have to take, again, like a step back, that kind of stuff. Okay. I even wonder if this is like a reminder of something, or, you know, let's see. All right, Libra. I swear, for some of you guys, there's something about being like, I want to say like sharpening your skills, or I don't know, something like that in the terms of like, maybe even like psychic stuff, or intuition, or something about that kind of stuff, or like code cracking. There's the King of Wands again. All right. Okay. You guys, I got to tell you, I'm getting like the number one spot. Okay. Somebody's the runner up, but they're the number one spot. I don't know. That's past my level of expertise. I'm like, I don't know. Number one spot. The number one spot. That's a song. A ludicrous song, I believe. So, all right, let's see what's up. I feel like that was the King of Wands that just poked out again. I don't know. I didn't really see it that well. Seven of Wands. I don't know. All right. Okay, Libra. Oh, there's the Queen of Cups. I'm gonna take that for like your goal here. I'm telling you, there's something you guys I think are super intuitive, like very tapped in here, that kind of stuff. I feel like you know the right move to make with something here. All right, that's what I'm feeling. All right. Okay, so yes, with the Temperance card, you guys have the Queen of Cups here. I love this energy. This is showing up for what you guys are wanting. So yes, I feel like you are wanting something to either like get better, honestly, you know, like I want to make this better. I want this thing to, again, I want this to get better. Or this is really, you're something that maybe you're even compromising about something in the way of like, okay, again, we're going to meet in the middle of like whatever this is, that kind of stuff. Okay. For some of you guys, there might be some like dream energy. Okay. That kind of stuff. All right. That type of stuff. Okay. Dream stuff. I think so. This is, I'm going to share a little anecdote here. So one of my kids used to have like kind of a hard time falling asleep. And so I would tell her like, oh, let's do like a dream date. So like, I'd be like, well, we'll meet in the middle. And she used to be like, let's meet in the middle of the maze. It was really cool actually. And, so I don't know, there might be something where you're like, I want to have a dream visit or something about that, or I want this particular information. I have a question about this. Can you bring that to me in a dream, or can you bring that to me in some way that you're able to like be like, that's the sign and I really recognize that kind of stuff. Okay, that might be something for somebody here. All right. Okay, so let's see. You also might This is like a different story completely, but for some of you guys, you might even be like, listen, I need some situation here to like freaking like cool down, calm down, that kind of stuff. Okay. That could be it too. Is like a level of like, all right, we need to like kind of moderate this, like, you know, calm down a little bit, that kind of stuff. Okay. That could also be it. So, all right. You guys have the Three of Wands, and this is showing up as like what to do about this. So, all right. Okay. I feel like there's something in the process of being put together here. Okay. That kind of stuff. So, you know, you do have that Temperance card there. This could be something about patience, being like, all right, wait, we really do need more information, and that information is coming in, that kind of stuff. Okay. That might be, it might be this Temperance card, Queen of Cups. It's almost like you blend those together. It's almost like the Hanged Man, you know, it's like either, yeah, like kind of like putting something on pause, like waiting in some aspect here, that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. So you guys have the King of Pentacles, and this is showing up as what to avoid here. I wonder if there's something that it's like, listen, don't like spend all your money right now, that kind of thing. Okay. For one reason or another, that could certainly be something here. Okay. Especially if you're like waiting for something. But there's also, it's like, you know what it is though? It's like, it's also avoiding something that you know is going to take like an incredibly long time. Okay. That kind of stuff. I'm also feeling something about that. So there is definitely something about timing, that kind of thing. That's I gotta tell you, that's kind of been a theme running around in this round of reading. So, all right, you guys are the Two of Swords. You have it with the Ten of Wands, and this is showing up as the possible issue here. So I feel like there, maybe somebody around you, or just in general, somebody might not be understanding maybe like how much you're kind of dealing with right now, or how much you're, you know, how much maybe you're freaking exhausted. Okay. I even, you know what I gotta tell you, this almost feels like working or doing something when you are overtired to the point that now you might be like missing details or missing like specific information, that kind of stuff. Okay. I'm understanding something regarding that. And, you know, of course that can be kind of like, you know, a problem. I feel like maybe one person is seeing something one way and you're seeing something a different way, that kind of stuff. Maybe that's showing up as some type of issue. Okay. That could also be part of whatever is going on. I wonder if it's also like maybe avoiding something to the point where now it's like, this is like a massive thing now. Like we've avoided it so long and now it's a massive situation, or now it's like, okay, you know, this is going to be maybe like really tiring, that kind of stuff. Okay. I'm also understanding something about working or doing something possibly for a long time and then being like, I didn't even get the rewards for this, or I didn't even get like, it's like doing work with that. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you've been working on something and you're like, there's no end in sight, dude. Or is there even going to be like, am I going to get something out of this? Or you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. There might be something in that. So, all right, you guys have the Ace of Wands, and this is showing up as what to do. I think this is like self-motivation. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like motivating yourself or doing something that's like maybe even inspiring you to kind of be like, okay, you know what? I can complete this. Like I'm ready to like put down like these 10 wands, that kind of stuff. Okay. That could also be like what to do is like, again, like being like, you know, inspiring yourself in some way, or kind of getting like personal motivation, that kind of stuff. All right. That's what I'm feeling here. You have the Empress card. This is showing up as what to avoid. So I would say, okay, yeah, I mean, King of Pentacles, and you have the Empress card. I think there's something about finances, okay, that kind of stuff, like putting too much into something. All right, that could certainly be something that it's like, okay, avoid doing that right now. Okay. Or again, avoiding something so long to the point where it's like this huge, massive thing. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. All right. You guys have the Ace of Swords, and you have it with the Eight of Pentacles, and this is showing up as your opportunity. I think this is finding a more efficient way to do something, or getting like a lot clearer on like maybe the process of something, or how something is being worked on in some sense, being, you know, having some type of like a moment of like, okay, I have, it's like that aha moment, being like, now I know how to do this. Or now, like, again, like I can do this like one after another. I can do this in the sense of like, I'm getting better every single time, that kind of stuff. But I feel like there is something, it's like, you know what it is? There's something about completing something here. It's like making sure something is being completed, finished, that kind of thing. All right. You might have an opportunity to maybe rework something in some sense. Okay. That kind of stuff. And I also want to say something about maybe even speaking up about maybe where you learned something, maybe how you're teaching something, or I don't know, something about that, an intern, whatever, something like that, you know, that kind of stuff. But I think it's like to bring that up or to speak about that in some sense. Okay. Maybe your personal experience with something, or how you worked on something, how you're like perfecting a specific thing that you're doing, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right. But again, it's like working on that, or not even working on it, speaking up on it, or again, having like a breakthrough moment where it's like, this is going to become more efficient, you know, that kind of stuff. All right, so you guys have the Seven of Pentacles, and this is showing up as what to do here. So, you know, I do think it's like, you know, fruits of your labor type of situation. That kind of stuff might be like, that's what to do, is to kind of like check in on something, to be like, okay, where can we kind of adjust something, or should we adjust something? Should we put more into something? Should we kind of like take like a different approach here? That kind of stuff, okay? There's also, I'm telling you, there is something about being patient with something, okay? But not being patient to the point where you're just like, I'm just not even gonna look at this thing, or I'm just gonna be like, well, whatever, I'm being patient, so I'm not gonna do anything. It's like, no, there needs to be some action involved, you know, in the patience process, that kind of stuff. So you have the Wheel of Fortune. This is showing up as what to avoid. Again, I wouldn't leave anything completely up to chance, that kind of stuff, okay? And I wouldn't try to like overly control anything, which I don't exactly think that you are, but I don't know, I'm understanding that is, you know, something about like, you know, not trying to overly control something, okay? There also might be a specific social media platform that maybe it's like avoiding, I don't know, avoiding that for one reason or another, okay? Something does need to kind of like continue moving in one direction, or kind of continue, like a cycle needs to close out, or, you know, something about that, okay? It might be like an avoidance of like stopping a process for something here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know that's vague, but there's something about that. Also, I will tell you, this little Pharaoh guy is like really, really sticking out to me. So there's something about that. So, all right. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys, Libra. I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you could check your other placements. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.